today I want to do a follow-up video from yesterday's, which was to start to become the authority in your life. And I want to just go into a bit more detail into the 21-day Conscious Creator Challenge that I mentioned in that video. I just want to talk about why it works, how the mind works in terms of doing this, and just a few things around it, and then set as a challenge for the next 21 days. So if you're up for doing this, I'd love you to type in the comments "I'm in," and then we can see who's involved and we can kind of track how we get on with doing this. So it's such a powerful tool for shaping your life and your experience. And with everything that's happening energetically, the planetary alignments, the transitions that we're going into, the Chinese New Year of the Fire Horse tomorrow, I just thought it'd be a really potent time to do this, and a potent time for starting to consciously create the reality that we want. And for those of us that have been on the awakening journey for a long time, whether you call yourself a Lightworker or a way shower, or if you just know that you've been on that kind of healing journey, we're all ready now to reclaim the authority over our life, as I mentioned yesterday. And it's exciting to now step into this era of being the conscious creators of our experience, both for ourselves but also for the world that we want to live in. So our mind, our body, our spirit are constantly co-creating our reality, and everything that we see, everything that we feel and experience is filtered through our subconscious beliefs and patterns. And as I've mentioned before, some of these beliefs and patterns are useful and some of them are not so useful. And if you find yourself overthinking things in a negative way, then there's definitely patterns and beliefs or values in place that are not really serving you for your highest good. So it'd be really good, if that is you, to have a go at doing this challenge. So we've been creating our reality from this subconscious place with all of those beliefs there automatically, not really been aware of it. It's just been happening, and we've just felt like we are at the effect of our external environment. And these beliefs and patterns have shaped our relationships, our friendships, our work, our abundance, and our beliefs around receiving, particularly money, for a lot of people. Having that poverty mindset, things never work out for me, those sorts of things, it's kind of been operating without really us being aware of it. And it shows how we perceive the world. Do we perceive the world as a threatening place or a beautiful place? Now, when we engage in this conscious visualization, we are effectively reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's not something new. It's been known about for a long, long time. And I know for a fact, having watched the Olympics recently, it got me thinking about athletes. All elite athletes have been using this principle for decades. And they spend hours and hours and hours within their practicing time using this technique in order to optimize their performance before competition or before any sort of event that they do. And they do this by really going into every detail, feeling every movement, and they do this in the moment as if it's happening now. And as they do this over and over and over again, it trains their nervous system, which is really important. It primes their muscle memory, and it creates a familiarity that allows the body and the mind to perform effortlessly. And you know how this works. If you drive a car, there was a time when you couldn't drive a car, and then you had driving lessons and you learned how to drive a car. Over time, you practice that so much that you don't have to think about what you're doing because it's so programmed into the subconscious mind. And it's the same with this. So that's kind of why it works. Also, in terms of this moving into being the authority of our life, it's really important to make a clear decision. And I think in this context, in doing this challenge, I think it's really important that that decision is to decide how you want to feel ultimately. And it can be in key areas of your life. You can specifically go into key areas of your life, into the feeling state that you want to have in that area. So the feeling part is the absolute key. The visualization is important in terms of getting some idea sort of on a visual sense, but it's not as important as really embodying the feeling that you want in those areas. And then the universe, your mind, your energy, all respond to that vibration of that feeling. So I'm just going to walk through the process again, just in a bit more detail, and I'll probably copy this and put it into the description of the video so you can actually read it if you don't want to go back to this. So how it's going to work is every evening and every morning you're going to do this practice just for 5 minutes, a bit longer if you want, but 5 minutes should be fine. So just before sleep, get yourself comfortable, relax and breathe deeply. And then just bring to mind the key areas of your life, your relationships, your purpose, your work, your abundance, maybe the world and humanity as a whole. And you can just focus on one of these if you want, or you can just focus on a generalized, I just want to feel peaceful, love, joy, fulfillment, just in general in all areas. But you can bring them specifically to mind. So if there's something really important to you, definitely include that in here. So make a decision now how you want to feel in each of these areas. Not the specifics of it, but the essence of it. That joy, fulfillment, love, peace, excitement, freedom. Really cultivate this intense feeling of what it will feel like when you have this thing, this wonderful relationship, this absolutely on purpose work, this amount of money that gives you the freedom to travel, to do what you want, etc. So just find the feeling and really make that feeling permeate every cell of your body. Now I want you to think about this feeling as your arrow. And this arrow now has an aim. So previously we had an arrow, we had nowhere specifically to aim it at, and it just flies anywhere. And then if you haven't done already, close your eyes and imagine that these experiences are happening now. So see it with as much detail as you can. Feel it really strongly in every cell of your body. Fully embody it. And stay with this feeling state for a few minutes. Just allowing it time to anchor and permeate in your subconscious. And then you can drift off to sleep in that wonderful state. In the morning, just as you're waking, while your mind is still in that highly programmable, relaxed state, before you open your eyes, before you jump out of bed and you do anything, just do that same exercise again. Feel into the joy, the peace, the fulfillment, the freedom, the abundance, the love, as if your day is already aligned with that highest version of your life. And do that for 5 minutes and then get up and get on with your day. And it's so simple, yet so powerful. And the repetition over 21 days is what trains the subconscious to accept this as your new reality. Your nervous system begins to align to this new frequency, and the old looping thoughts, interfere and lack, will slowly lessen and calm down, because the nervous system is now feeling much more comfortable with this new operating system that we're installing. And And you stop reacting from old limitations, and you instead start to open from your natural, creative, expansive self. And you can start to notice over the days or, the weeks that you do this, just start to really notice those surprising things that start to come into your reality. A new resonant friend or relationship, an unexpected check through the post. Just notice those little things and continue with the practice. And using our imagination is our natural state. We did it completely effortlessly when we were children, and we get trained out of it. And now with all of these energetic alignments and everything that's happening in an energetic sense in the world, I just feel like it's a really good time to awaken that energy and bring it into conscious creation, so that we can start to really create the world that we would like to see. And just a little bit of kind of science behind it. Neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, shows that the brain or the subconscious mind can't distinguish between something that's real and something that we imagine. And the body responds as if we're doing that thing. So if you imagine, I used to use this example quite a lot in my training. If you imagine cutting a lemon in half with a knife, and then imagine cutting that half again into a quarter, imagine picking up that quarter piece of lemon and bringing it towards your mouth, tipping your head back and squeezing that lemon into your mouth. Just notice how the tongue and the mouth respond, because you're imagining that, and it's so incredibly strong. So it totally is something that we overlook, but it's such a powerful process. And visualization combined with feeling begins to create new neural pathways, and it just starts to rewire the brain for your desired life, rather than the pathways that you've always gone down that lead to suffering or lack, or nothing ever works out for me. So I want to invite everybody that's listening to this to join me on this 21-day Conscious Creator Challenge. Starting today if you want to, but I was going to start tomorrow, 17th of February. And we can all kind of step into our own inner authority, stabilize our energy, and create from our I am presence with a commanding energy. So I'd just love it if you want to do this with me, and I'd love it if you could write in the comments I'm in, so we can see who's up for doing this, and we can support each other and hold space for this transformation. And just finally, as a reminder, the world is a mirror of your energy. So whatever you emit outwards from your energy is what you see back in the world. So when you start to align yourself intentionally to the feelings that you want to experience, then your reality has no choice but to shift externally to match that. So let's step into this together, consciously and intentionally and joyfully. And I'd absolutely love to hear how you're getting on, and if you are finding it useful. Thank you for listening.